So this is the third podcast of YourMusicPlug.com, and we have Garth Adam as our guest. So just Garth, let the audience know who you are and give us a brief about your story.
So, hey guys, my name is Garth Adam. I'm a DJ, producer, a normal human being like everybody else. And yeah, I've been DJing for the past 16 years right now, producing for the past 3 years right now. And yes, I have done countless a number of shows, like you name it, I've kind of done it, like maybe Sunburn, Supersonic, EDC, then many more. Yes.
Yes. So when was it that you thought that you should get into music industry, and what was the moment like for you?
Oh, wow, nice question. So, everybody has this one calling card, and for me, it was when I was 11 years old. I heard my first CD, which my uncle brought from London, which was Paul Van Dyke's CD. The song that changed my life in that CD was "Foreign Angel." It was one of his most. It is one of his best songs that he's ever made, and that's what made him Paul Van Dyke. So that song changed me, and then I don't know what got into me. I asked my uncle like, "Uncle, what is this? What is this kind of music? It's so amazing and it's so addictive, kind of a thing, and all." And then he explained to me about the DJ culture, the how people produce. I mean, DJs they produce music. I mean, at that time it was completely different the way they produce music. But he was just telling me in bits and pieces because he was also not too knowledge about the DJ culture, but he just told me that it was DJing. These people produce this music and they play it. It's called electronic dance music. And then I was like, wow, okay, I have to do some more research on this. So yeah, that's pretty much.
Yeah. So, from which genre did you start with, and what was the journey of genres you have been in?
Oh, so the first genre, I mean, nobody believes me when I say this. Everybody says that I'm a progressive house DJ. I started off with progressive house and deep house, but it's actually hip hop. Like my roots were always hip hop, and from hip hop the journey it started like learning hip hop, like how to DJ hip hop and everything. So that was my a senior DJ actually told me this. Why don't you try hip hop first? I liked electronic dance music, but a DJ told me try hip hop first and then go into electronic dance because it's that transition is much easier, but actually it's the opposite. I mean, I don't know how it happened, but in the like DJing cultures actually learn house music, then go into hip hop, then you'll understand hip hop. But I don't know, with me it was kind of very different. So I started off with hip hop and then I went into learning how to mix progressive house and everything. So I started off basically with the hard thing and then I went on to the easy thing. So yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
much it.
Did you have a plan ahead of you that I'm going to do this, I'm going to keep this process going on?
Actually, no plan because when I was actually, it started off. I was just partying. I was enjoying. I was actually going to get into hotel management and I was going to become a chef, but that it kind of got. I mean, I don't know. Music kept on calling me, and in my bloodline, music has been there since like my great grandfather. So it's gone down from my mother's side. It's kind of gone down to generation and generation and generation. Like my mom played the piano, my mom's brother, that's my uncle, he was pretty much an all-rounder. He played each and every instrument. You give it to him, he'll play it. So it was like, it is like a calling. I mean, I don't know, it kind of linked everything. Everything linked so well, and I just said one day, like I told my dad, I don't want to become a chef. I just want to get into the music industry. And then he told me like, "Are you?" He was disappointed, but he's like, "Are you sure about this and all that stuff?" And then my mom came and she's like, she supported me like, I mean, like some parents will be like, "No, I want you to be a doctor. I want you to be a chef, work in a five-star hotel, and this, like, work in the airlines as a pilot or something like that." But my mom said, "No, you just do whatever you want. Do what your heart tells you to do." And she was more than happy because she's like saying, "Thank God, at least one child has got something from me." So I was like, okay, cool. But yeah, to be honest, it was a very hard, like to get into the industry. I would say I did not know anything. I did not know anything at all. I was like, what to do, and like, so then I had this one party I went for, and my friend was DJing over there, and I'm like, his name is DJ Jeremy. He's also a very well known DJ in Mumbai. He's one of my very very close friends. We pretty much started our DJ career together, and he and another guy named Driggy Drew, DJ Driggy. He passed away, so he's a very close friend of mine. We actually started, like all three of us started our DJ careers together. So I just asked them questions like, how to get into this, how to get into that, and all. So he's like, just come, like play at some parties. We'll see how you do and everything and all that stuff. And then yeah, from there it hit off to me getting going for one of my friend's nights, and he was playing at this club called Cosmopolitan. That was his first gig. So it was Jeremy's gig. So I was like, cool, let's go for it and all. And then after that, I don't know. I just don't know what got into me. I saw the guy, the resident DJ over there, and I was like, just go for it, God. Just go for it. If you don't go for it, you won't know what will happen. So I went for it. I asked him, "Can you give me a gig? I'm a DJ also. If you want, you can share like normal networking, like what everybody does. Like you can check out." And that person was one of the people that changed my life as a DJ, as a person, and that he's very famous also. His name is DJ Cyrus, and he was assisted by DJ Tino at that time. So these guys, but mainly DJ Cyrus, but even Twisted Bass also helped me a lot. But Cyrus, I owe my life to. So it was like him. So that's how everything happened.
Yeah, and what do you think about like networking for artists and networking in this music scene? And
Mu-
what steps, yeah, and what steps do you take now to network with new people in the scene?
I think I have not changed my way of networking. I have always done the same thing that I've always done. Go party. Just go and party. Just go out party. Meet people. Talk to people. Don't be a person that will be like, oh, come and dance, make this thing. Just go say hi, what's up to the DJ. Network with them. Talk to them. Get to know them. And, you know, like just meet new people, make new friends. That's how I've always done it. I love making new friends. So it's like even when I've played in like maybe out of Mumbai or in Mumbai, I make sure I always go out partying and just meet new people. So automatically it's like you're networking because you just want it's like for me it's a genuine thing that I just love making new friends. And then out of that it just becomes networking. It's like networking. So I mean, I don't know how to put it, but it just happens automatically. And then suddenly he's your friend, and then he's getting you gigs, or you're helping him out, and you're getting him gigs. It's just like a proper friend circle. So I mean, like that's how I've been doing it for the past 16 years, and I wish. I mean, I hope there are other DJs that do this because it should be genuine. Like you just not coming out to look for work. Like you just going out for the music and meeting good people, man. That's how it's supposed to be. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, yes, right, right. And how long did it take for you and to get into this music scene and have something lucrative out of it?
Oh yes, that took. I mean, no, actually, I would be honest, and I would say I would be those people who were lucky to be surrounded with good friends and good people that they kept on pushing me. And like Cyrus, I was working with Cyrus for 1 month, but in that 1 month we became such good friends, and he wanted me to grow, and he told me, Gath, you have so much potential, and I don't want you to stop over there. So I kept on working hard and hard and hard, improving my skills and everything. And then after that, I just got an offer for another job, and then I think so it was because of that other job my name started boosting a little bit, which was Marimba back in 2011 or 10. I was a resident DJ over there, but I was I used to play like these opening sets for these DJs that used to come, and that's why I met my very close friend Jiggy. We got reunited back again because he was in like on the other side of town doing his work. I was on the other side of town doing my work, and then Marimba happened, and then I met him. We started DJing, doing back-to-back sets and all. And I think so it's because of Marimba I got boosted up a little bit. But then after that, I was like, I wanted to grow more. So it was just the spark and the passion of DJing that made me push myself and just say, I want to go here. Like keep on going up, like non-stop. Like I wanted to go up. So from there, Marimba, I think so. Marimba, I had Garda de Vida, that was in Novotel Hotel, which they helped me. It's just a normal thing, but I was put on the newspaper every time I was performing, so that boosted up my name even more. And then after that, I kept on going. And then after that, a friend kind of spoke to me and he told me, God, why are you like just joining places? And then he told me like you should be targeting venues that are, you know, like famous venues. So then at that time there was this place called TBN and WTF. And I was like, okay, let me go and check out if they need a resident DJ. I went to WTF. No, not WTF. Sorry. Yeah, actually, first it was WTF. I went to WTF. I was working under DJ Mac, amazing DJ. Like he took my skills to the next level when it came to that. And then after that, um, I just started DJing over there. I worked over there for like 2 years, 1 year or 2 years. My name started buzzing too much because of the set, the music that I used to play. It's all because of DJ Mac that used to that guided me. And then out of the blue, I didn't know also one more thing that DJ Driggy was working with Mac. So one day we met, and I was like, "Dude, what are you doing here?" And he's like saying, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "I work for Mac." He's like, "You're Gath," and I was like, "Yes." So then, yes, after that, Jiggy and I just started working with Mac, learning so much. And I think if like two people I will give for my talent, I would give a big respect and thank them so much is DJ Cyrus and DJ Mac for helping me, to perfect my skill, to know what to do, when to do, how to do it, like how to balance out the crowd, how to make sure that they are enjoying. It's not only you shouldn't be only enjoying, they are supposed to be enjoying. You should be playing music for them. And so it was a lot of stuff, and yes, it was a little bit hard. It was very hard because Mac Cyrus and Mac teach in a way that I hope I think so. Me and Jiggy have only are the only people that they have put their life out to. Like Mac has put his life out to, but DJ Cyrus has put his everything into me, like teaching me in the ways of DJing and how to do it, like how to actually perform, and it's and to be humble and to perform and to just do a good work. So yeah, it would be Mac is one person. Also, I forgot to say that he was DJ Pearls, which is Nikhil Chinapa's wife, assistant DJ. So learning something from there is like something very big. Like, oh gosh, he was DJ Pearl's assistant DJ. Damn, he must have gotten so much of knowledge from there. And so it was so exciting. So, and then I kept on just jumping venues, and I have to respect my senior artists for understanding that I wanted to grow, which they were so supportive of. And then yes, from there I kept on jumping. Kino's 108, Bobby Cave, another person who taught me the turntables. Then I get Wilbur, who taught me how to do techno and tech house, like how to do it properly, like not like just play like the proper way of doing it. And then I met the most amazing person, that is DJ Priyanjana. Like she's like my elder sister. She's like I mean, I have an elder sister, but she's like an elder sister to me also. And she just got me into, she gave me my first gig at Club Royalty back in the days, Club Royalty. And that changed my life because suddenly out of the blue, once you become a resident DJ of Club Royalty, you are one of the official DJs for Salman Khan. So I was like, are you serious? So then got into working with Salman Khan, all the best actors. Like I played for half of their parties. Like I've played for Salman Khan's Kick launch party alongside with DJ Willie. That is Salman Khan's official DJ. And then after that, I played for Bishop Bipasha Basu. I played for the same. Uh, I've done a lot of movies, like movie launch parties and everything. But it was the biggest honor for me to work with the Khan family. And trust me, they are the most amazing family to work with. Oh my god! And they are so chilled out, so relaxed. But you have to make sure everything is on point. Like your performance, your cue, what is your cue? You should make sure everything is on point. But otherwise, they're the most amazing family to work with. I love them so much, and I thank them also for boosting my career, like a lot. And Sohail, like including Sohail Khan, also he's amazing. He's just a gem of a person. So yeah, I mean that's how everything started for me.
Yeah, and what would be a suggestion for new people in music for getting a mentor
For
like you
getting a
did?
men for
Yeah.
for like I said before, I was lucky, so very lucky. But for other kids out there, or maybe like my age DJ, like DJ kids, 20s, whatever, I would suggest take your time and first learn the person before making the person your mentor, because I've also got like a couple of DJs that have come up to me and saying, oh God, this is not happening. He's like backstab me, this, that, and all. So yeah, I've even gone through it. I've gone through some senior DJs of mine who have backstabbed me, but I wouldn't say a lot. I would say a very few. Like I said, I was lucky. It was just like two or three that have done it to me. But be careful who you pick to be your mentor. And if you really want, I can also give out names, the best mentors in the world, like Cyrus, Mac, Clement, DJ Willie, DJ Bittu, then all these guys. They are all senior DJs. So yeah, so make sure you meet somebody who
Great,
is,
great. And
yeah. No, no, sorry. You were saying.
yeah, go on, go on, go on.
Okay, so no, just make sure you meet somebody who's
Yes, you can
genuine.
go on, go on.
Yeah. So meet somebody who you're like confident and you're sure that he will guide you. I mean, there are a lot of DJs like that, but yes, there will be one or two. But don't worry, that is a learning experience, and you should learn from it and improve as a person and as a DJ. So that would be it. That would what I would say to everybody.
Right. And what are the few major challenges faced by a new music who is new into music or is getting into music?
Like a lot of challenges would be like finding your sound, like finding your talent. That is like the main thing. Like because if you don't have a talent, you'll be like every other ordinary DJ, like just playing music. But if you have a talent, like me, it took me 2 years to 3 years to build up my own talent, and it doesn't stop there. You keep on coming up with new things, new ways of DJing and all that stuff. So you never stop learning. This is one thing my friend told me, DJ Driggy, that you never stop learning that. Because one day I just said, and I was young and I was stupid. So I said like, no, dude, I know I'm one of the most awesome DJs right now. And I've learned everything that I just said this because I was immature and I was not thinking properly. So then my friend gave me an advice that was DJ Driggy. He's like, in Garth, you never stop learning there. You keep on improving as a DJ, as a person, and also a normal as a human being. Like make sure you stay humble and just keep learning. Keep learning. So I was like, okay. So then I learned, and then after I started implementing his teachings also. Even though he was a friend and he was like a classmate of mine, but I still implemented his thing in my life. Until date, I still do it. I never stop doing. I still learn every day. I'm learning something new and all that stuff. But get your own talent. Then after that, uh, just go out. Like I said before, go out partying. Meet some people. There will be downfalls. There will be struggling because remember one thing: nothing in this world is easy. You have to work hard for it. And just remember one thing: depression can be a very bad thing. It can lead you into darkness and you will never come out. Like, I know some people who have gone into that darkness and they'll never come out. Don't fall into that darkness. Make sure that DJing passion and that light inside you stays lit and just keep on moving forward. Okay, so that's pretty much what I would give to everybody. Like, I mean, all the newcomers, like, and trust me, you guys will be able to. So you guys are like the next generation. So don't worry, just have faith and keep that sparkle alive. Trust me, you will go places. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah. And what gig or which gig in particular did you enjoyed the most with few people or like your favorite people to have a gig with?
Oh wow! I mean, there are so many because I can't pick one. I can't pick any, but like, just say, I would say, I think so. It was Sunburn Silvassa. Like me and Priyanjana went and played. We were doing the. I was hosting for Sunburn, uh, and also doing the after party. And yeah, I think so. That would be my most amazing experience. And also, I mean, there are so many. I played Sunburn Main, like I played Sunburn Pune also. And I've done so much with Sunburn, and those guys are so amazing. They have the most amazing team, the most sweetest team, I would actually say. But they are amazing, these guys. So I mean, and yeah, there's VH1 Supersonic. Like, I mean, there's so many stuff I can't pick one. Like that's one thing that's one thing I'll say. That I mean, all of them. Actually, the best way to say was all of them. I mean, it was the most it is the most amazing journey for me. And yeah, but if you're talking about one crazy, I can tell you one crazy one, which was me and Priyanjana and Anisood. Sorry, Priyanjana, Anisood, and me. We played Sunburn Surat. It was a campus where we walk in, and there were 300 people over there. And then we walk into the green room. There are 300 people over there. And then after that, coming out of the green room, suddenly we go on stage, and there's like 6,000 to 7,000 people, and we just lost our minds, and we just nailed it. So that would be one crazy experience, because it is like, you walk in and the 300 people like, okay, cool, let's just play, and then let's make all of them dance and go crazy and everything. And then you walk inside the green room, and then you walk outside, and then suddenly 6,000 people. I'm like, where did they all come from? so, so yeah, that would be the same. I think so. It was a campus. Yeah, it was a campus in the same. I forgot something in S. I forgot which campus it was. So yeah, that would be the most amazing one. I mean, crazy one.
Yeah, and after this corona pandemic which is going on, where and with whom would you like to play a gig with the first time?
Oh, I would love to play a gig with all my friends. Like all my friends. Like I would like to do a gig with. Uh, I mean, like there's Jeremy. There is uh, Jared Nunes, there's Selected D2, DJ Sid, then DJ Proof, DJ Sa, DJ Kenai. I mean, all my friends. I mean, I would love to, like, jamming up with these guys, like, it's like a big treat, man. It's amazing. Like, some of the, like, even the big names, the small names, like the people who are not very well known but have freaking good talent, like, to say it like that. Um, yeah, I would love to jam with all of them. But a venue, I would really like to go to, would, I mean, I don't have a specific venue because I mean I love all of them. Everybody has their unique way. Like I mean, not to be like you know diplomatic and everything, but actually every place has their own unique thing that it's so much of fun. Like you go to Rodeo Drive, you have fun. You go to Arata, you have fun. You go to Rasta Ocean, you're gonna have fun. You go to Kiddie Zoo also, you'll have fun. It's like it's so many different things. But yeah, actually, uh, one place like if I would have to choose one place, two places dear to me to go back and do a crazy gig would be Kiddie Zoo Mumbai and Rasta Bombay. Yeah, these two places.
Yeah, man, great. So, do you want to tell audience for any of your advice from getting out of this pandemic?
Like any advice, as in like post getting out of this pandemic, what to do or how to deal with the pandemic?
Yeah, yeah, like what should they start doing or preparing for post-pandemic?
Oh, post pandemic. Okay, so yeah, get music, start practicing 2 hours a day, every day, come up with something unique. Just keep updating yourself with music. Try to find some new music also that people have never heard. And be work on yourself as a person, artist. This is a good time. Start producing music, start practicing, like I said before, start practicing, producing music, getting ready for post pandemic, and just be ready and give something great to the world. Like there are such talented artists. Like I hope you guys are also watching. Like all you guys who are watching actually, all of you are talented in your own ways. Just get prepared and start. Uh, you know, getting ready for the breakout. You can say, like all DJs come out like, yeah, let's go. So yeah, just get ready. That's it.
Yeah, yes, yes. So just let the audience know where they can find you and how they can connect with you.
So yes, so you can find me on Facebook as at Garth Adam Music, and also on Instagram as Garthasm Music, Twitter Garthasm Music, and on Mixcloud. I stream on Mixcloud every Friday nights at 9 o'clock, and every time there's a different, it's something different. I don't play a single like one specific genre. I just keep on mixing around, playing everything. Sometimes I don't care. So yeah, Mixcloud at Garth Adam Music, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, man. It was great having you on the podcast.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much
your
for
time.
having me. Thank you so much for having me. It really means a lot.
Yeah,
And
man.
big shout out to you and your team. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, man. Have a good one.
You too. You too. Have a good one. Bye. See you. See you guys. See you. Take care.